that they have lived an upright life and equally served their country in various capacities. This Honorable Court has equally taken into account the impact statements that has been brought forth by Ms. Mwangi, Mrs. Amisi, and Mr. Riungu for the state. The court has equally taken into account the long mitigation that has been brought forth by Mr. Sagana, advocate for the first accused, and equally Mr. Bosek, advocate for the fourth accused persons. Upon hearing the parties, this Honorable Court has now been called upon to mete out the sentence. First accused, on count 2, section 48(1), he is fined Kenya shillings 300,000 in default to serve 1 year imprisonment. In count 2, count 2, section 48(1)(b), the amount of lost that was proved to the record of the court is Kenya shillings 450,000 times 2, that is 900,000 in default to serve 1 year imprisonment. Count 3, section 48(1), the accused is fined 300,000 in default 1 year imprisonment. The mandatory section 48(b) on the amount lost, that's 450 times 2, 900,000 in default 1 year imprisonment. Count 4, similarly, 48(a) is 300,000 in default 1 year imprisonment. And the mandatory sentence under 48(1)(b), 450 times 2, 900,000 in default 1 year imprisonment. You have accused, he was convicted in counts 5. It's good to set the record straight at this moment that equally as stated, the fourth accused did not receive any benefit. So the court will apply section 48(1)(b), 1(a), and 1(b), the mandatory sentence for the loss. So in count number 5, 1(a), the fourth accused is fined Kenya shillings 300,000 in default 1 year imprisonment. The mandatory sentence under section 48(1)(b), Kenya shillings 9,795,000 times 2, the amount is 19,590,000 default to serve 2 years imprisonment. Count number 9, under section 48(1), the fine is 300,000 in default 1 year imprisonment. In respect of section 48(b), the mandatory sentence on the amount lost, that is 15,389,000. The fourth accused is fined Kenyan shillings 30,779.70 in default 3 years imprisonment. Count number 11, 48(1), 300,000 in default 1 year imprisonment. Section 48(1)(b) on the mandatory sentence. I need to point out on this is section 49. Mr. Bosek, for your benefit, I had referred to the evidence of Madam Rombo, who said when the allowance is not enough for any institution, SRC is always ready to hear a review, and that's what the court expected the fourth accused to do, to seek a review from the SRC. So on count 11, that is 300,000 in default 1 year imprisonment. The mandatory sentence for the loss incurred 19,549 times 2, that is 39,098. In default, 3 years imprisonment. Count number 12, section 48, 1A, 300,000. In default, 1 year imprisonment. Mandatory sentence for the loss, that is Kenya shillings for 4,983 times 2, that is 9,967. In default to serve 1 year imprisonment. Count number 14, 48A, 300,000. In default, 1 year imprisonment. Mandatory sentence for the amount lost by the government of Kenya, which is 5,353,000, 532 times 2. The fourth accused is fined Kenya shillings 10,707. Default 1 year imprisonment. Section 4, count 15, the last count, section 48(1), fine 300. Default 1 year imprisonment. The mandatory sentence for the loss of 1.9 million, total is 3,900,000. In default to serve 1 year imprisonment. 14 days right to appeal is explained.